let's talk about regulation in India. The regulator has done many things, including data localization, which was brought in a couple of years ago. Of course, all of you need to be compliant with that. There have been some recent changes for credit cards specifically. How do you see the regulatory environment in India at this point in time? Is it challenging? Does it add friction? Or is it making you feel that it is securing the digital payment ecosystem?
Of course, it can be challenging at times, but it makes us better. That's how we view it. We want to be in compliance as effective and faster than any company in our space. We want the regulators to look at Visa as a leader, and we lean into this regulation because we do believe that it makes us better. I also give enormous credit to the regulators in India for leading the charge on innovations that not only make the system more safe, they help drive commerce. I would use tokenization as an example. I think the regulators in India leaned into tokenization, they mandated tokenization, and as a result, e-commerce is going to be adopted even faster in India. It's going to be safer, it's going to be more secure, it's going to have higher authorization rates.
So you're saying that the regulator in India was ahead of the curve on tokenization?
Absolutely. They were an innovator in that way of leading, as far as all the regulators in the world, by mandating tokenization for e-commerce in India.
Mm-hmm. So what would you say are the key risks today? What keeps you up at night? You were talking about cyber safety, cyber security, and in general, what we've seen with the momentum of digital transactions going up, that we've also seen the risks of digital fraud, of cyber risks, and so on and so forth. How are you, within Visa, trying to fortify yourself, and how much of this is a risk that you're factoring in?
It's an enormous priority for us. I think it's a very big risk. At the core of digital payments, at the core of the success of digital payments is trust. All of us are very comfortable engaging in digital payments, whether it's with a Visa card or anything else, because we trust that it's going to be safe. And we take the responsibility to safeguard our network and ensure that it is the safest and most reliable network very seriously. As you might expect, we're a very big target for the bad guys that are out there. We have somewhere between...
Average, how much do you get attacked in a day?
I was just about to say, we are attacked somewhere between 400 and 500 million times a month. Attack vectors that come from all different parts of the world. I'll give you another example. We have about 30,000 employees. Every month, we stop 20 million emails that were meant to be sent to our employees, and we stop them before they get to them. All of those are from bad actors. They're trying to trick our employees into doing something that they otherwise shouldn't do. So we take that very seriously. We've invested billions in our cybersecurity protections. We have 1,000 people that come into work every day, and all they do is focus on our cyber protections. But beyond that, we're also creating tools for our bank partners to help them stop fraud.
Yeah.
Every year, through those tools, we stop more than $30 billion of fraud that otherwise would have been perpetrated on our network and with our customers' clients. So this is going to be an arms race. It's going to continue to be an arms race, and we are going to invest, and we're going to work as hard as we possibly can to stay one step, if not 5 steps ahead of the bad actors, to ensure that the network is as safe and as secure as it possibly can be.
When you say that this is going to be an arms race, explain to me how you're going about it. I mean, putting money at the problem or throwing money at the problem is just one aspect, but how are you thinking about this strategically? And more importantly, how do you look at this from your partner's perspective as well, who may not have the ability to throw money at the problem?
Well, first on the second part of your question, this is something I've been talking to everyone that I've had a chance to meet with while I've been in India. We want to protect our network, the Visa network, with all of the tools and security that I mentioned, but we also want to make these tools available to all networks. We want to make our services available to any network that's out there, because let's be honest, like all of the network of networks that we operate in across the world, and on this particular topic, we're all in this together. We need to be investing in the safety and security of digital payments so that everybody across the world continues to trust.
So MasterCard and you are aligned on this one.
I think cyber protection is existential for digital payments, and so I want to make sure that we're making our products, our services, our talent, We're sharing information, we're sharing our services to anyone that's interested in putting them to work, and we feel like we have great products and services that we can be helpful with.
Yeah, I want to go back to something that you said right at the very beginning. You said that you're here in India to learn. And in the context of the digital public infrastructure and what India's been able to do with the India Stack, it was a big part of our pitch to the world through our G20 presidency as well. What do you see as the opportunities to export the India Stack to the world?
Yeah, first of all, I think the world is paying very close attention to it. I think there is a meaningful opportunity to export the stack. You go through it. Aadhaar, UPI, ONDC, DigiLocker. All of these elements of the stack are extraordinarily impressive. I was saying to my team the other day, I think if you look at what India has done, and you look at the product roadmap, I would put it up against any of the best big tech players on the planet. Not just the roadmap itself, the clarity, the execution, the transparency, the length of the roadmap. It is remarkable execution, and I think there is a big opportunity to export the stack far beyond India. The other thing that I spend a lot of time on is consumer preferences, consumer trends. What are we hearing from buyers and sellers around the world? What do they need? What are the technologies that are changing how they're running their businesses or they're engaging in their lives? By the way, generative AI, another topic we could talk about is helpful, is how I think it's going to change shopping, which I think it'll have a very big impact on that.
More experiential?
Yeah, I think it's just going to make it easier. If you think about shopping, especially for someone like myself who's neither that good at it nor likes it that much, it's very inefficient.
That makes the two of us.
It's relatively inefficient. And so I think generative AI, all of us are going to have co-pilots in terms of shopping. We're going to have much more curated experiences. We're going to have much more curated payment experiences that come with it. And that's just going to make a much better experience. I also think, I have a personal thesis that generative AI could be a very empowering capability for small businesses around the world. It starts to give them access to the capabilities that only the largest retailers have had, whether it's product reviews or recommendation engines or things like that become unbundled and available to small and medium businesses around the world. I think generative AI could be a very leveling force in the commerce space.
You preempted what I was going to say. So you actually believe that generative AI will level the playing field, not make the gaps wider?
I believe it will. That's my personal thesis. I think it'll for the largest retailers and the largest platforms, it will certainly help optimize what they do. And again, make a more enjoyable experience for all of us as shoppers. But I think it has the power to level the playing field. It has the power to democratize a lot of the commerce capabilities that have been bundled into some of the largest platforms and make them available. And for you and I as shoppers, I think we're going to have much more broad views to inventory that's available in small and medium businesses, either in the cities that we live in or around us.
Do you see India then being an incubator of some of the innovations that you would hope for Visa to focus on in the future?
An innovator, an exporter, there's no question about it. The fintech community here has had a very profound impact on Visa. And we've collaborated, we've worked with them.
How has it changed Visa? How have Indian fintechs changed Visa?
Yeah, Indian fintechs have opened up our mind to the power of QR payments. So now we're looking at other markets around the world where QR might be the form factor that users prefer, buyers and sellers. So, well, okay, we don't need cards, we'll use QR, and that'll be the form factor that will then allow people to tap into the Visa network, as an example. And that very much came from the inspiration of what we've seen happen here in India.
I'm going to end by asking you the message that you're sending or leaving your India team with. You said that you're going to probably up the targets, given the opportunities and the potential that you see in India. What's the message to the India team on how they should leverage the India opportunity?
India is an enormous opportunity. India has had incredible success. We are here to partner. We want to be an integral part of the India story. We want to put the Visa network to work in every way that we possibly can to help accelerate the progress in India, help move from financial inclusion to financial empowerment. And I'm going to give our team all the resources they need to do that.
And they haven't given you a number just yet?
They've given me some numbers.
They've given you some numbers. Are you going to do better than the numbers that they've left you with?
We're going to give them everything they need to be successful.
Well, Ryan, thank you very, very much for joining us here. Ladies and gentlemen, the global CEO of Visa on their outlook for India, as well as the opportunities that it presents for the Visa network. Appreciate you joining us. We hope you have a fabulous trip back, and we look forward to seeing you back in India soon.
It was fun talking to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.